Hello and welcome, or welcome back if you're a returning viewer to the channel. WB here, and in this video what I want to do is show you how you can utilize BurpSuite to do web application testing. As always, I ask if you like what you see on the channel, be sure to like and subscribe, leave us a comment or two, click the notification bell as our content library is constantly growing. And if you'd like to continue this discussion after the video ends, check out the description for a link to our community Discord server. Alright everybody, let's dive into a demonstration on web application security testing utilizing BurpSuite. All right, everybody, here we are on my desktop, and we're going to go ahead and get BurpSuite installed. And for this demonstration purposes, I'm going to assume that you're not using Kali as your daily driver. And it also gives me the ability to show you how you can install it on Linux. In this case, we're using Debian flavor. It's Ubuntu. But I also know that some of you are studying, and time is of the essence. So for those of you that need to get right into the action with BurpSuite, keep in mind if you're running something like Kali, you can just start to use BurpSuite right from Kali. Now, I've already opened this prior inside of the operating system, and you might, on the initial launch, get a couple of dialog boxes such as the ULA that you have to interact with. And as you'll see when we get this installed in Ubuntu, if you're running the Community Edition, which is what we will be running, it only sits in memory. It isn't written to disk, and that's for the Professional Edition. So we'll go ahead and just leave that right there. And we're going to hop back over here to our Ubuntu machine, and we have PortSwigger's website up. You can check the description below for a link. These links will be there for you. And then here is the download. We can download the Community Edition, and there's a variety of different editions. And hey, if you want me to give you a demonstration on how to do this for some of you Windows users out there, just leave me a comment down below. Say Windows, and I'll show you how to get it installed. Or if you have an operating system that you'd like to see it installed, leave me a comment, and we can make that happen. And then from here, so I'm going to use Linux 64-bit, and we'll go ahead and choose download. And what it's going to do is it's going to download a script. All right. And we'll go ahead, and what we're going to do is we are going to drop down to our command prompt, or our terminal, excuse me. Wrong operating system. And if we look at the contents of our current directory here, actually let's go ahead and change into downloads, and we can see here that we have a script that's downloaded. So what we want to do, some of you have probably done this before, we're going to use chmod, and we're going to add the writable permission to this, and we'll go ahead and run that. All right, and then if we look at this again, you can see, well, depending on your color coding, right, it changes the shell script. We're going to go ahead and we're going to run this. All right. Now, what it's going to do is it's going to go ahead and it's going to launch a little installer here, and we're going to just choose next. And if you want to pause the video, you can, and it's going to ask you where do you want to install it and what the required disk space is. I'm going to go ahead and choose next, and then it's going to create the symlinks. Right, you can see it'll be in USR local bin. Choose next, and let it extract those files. Now, once this gets up and running, all right, those of you, like I said, that have Kali and you want to jump right into the demonstration, this will be around the part where you're going to want to get involved, because what we're going to do is we're going to configure the BurpSuite Proxy, and this does apply, regardless of where you've installed it. So once that's done, we can choose Finish Setup. And wow, doesn't that look, well, that's really anticlimactic, isn't it? So we'll go ahead and clear this. But we can show all of our apps here, and we can now see that we have the BurpSuite Community Edition is installed. So if you want, you can right-click on that, and you can pin it to the dash so you can get to it a little bit easier. And then this gives us the ability from here to go ahead and launch BurpSuite. All right, and I'll just leave our terminal here in the background. And here is the end user license agreement. Now, those of you that have maybe just launched Kali or BurpSuite in Kali for the very first time, this is the EULA that you'll get. Again, I had already launched it, so it didn't show that for me. And then also to keep in mind too, with the Java runtime environment, the JRE, if Kali, or if the installer to run it, detects a JRE version that's a little bit different. It might give you a little warning that says that, hey, it could throw errors or not operate appropriately. So just be aware of that. Now, I'm going to go ahead and choose yes, or I accept to the end user license agreement. And like we seen in Kali when I launched it earlier, again, because this is the BurpSuite Community Edition, these projects are temporary and they're only going to run in memory and they're not going to be saved to the disk. That's where the BurpSuite Professional Edition comes in. We're going to choose next. And then what are we going to use? Do we want to load from a configuration file? We're going to just use the defaults. And then from here, we can start up BurpSuite. All right, and it's going to start our project up. Now, from here, this is where we get the ability to go ahead and configure our BurpSuite Proxy, which is one of the very first things that I want to show you. Again, in additional demonstrations and maybe even some requests from some comments below, hint, 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 if you want a little bit more advanced configuration of BurpSuite, we can do some additional demonstrations after this. All right, so let me go ahead. It gives us our introduction here. I'm going to go ahead and close that down. And let's go ahead and let's start to configure our BurpSuite proxy. All right, we want to be able to intercept traffic that is coming to and from our web browser. So in order to start this, we're going to go ahead and we're going to go up here to the top and we're going to choose proxy. And then from proxy, you're going to see that we've got a variety of different options right here. We're going to start out in proxy settings because we want to verify a couple of things. We want to make sure that the interface is the local loopback. All right, now if you want to also set some additional interception rules and what do you want to intercept, what the request based on certain criteria, you can also do some configuration here. I'm not really going to configure too much here. We can save that for, another time. But there is something that right here that we do want to do. We need to configure our BurpSuite browser. So in order to do this, what we're going to go ahead and do is we're going to import or export, I should say, a certificate. So to do that, let's go ahead. Right here, you're going to see import, export, CA, certificate. And then what we want to do, we don't need the private key, but we do need at least we need the certificate. All right, so we're going to go ahead and select that, and we're going to choose next. And then it's going to ask us, where do we want to actually, what do we want to name the file? Do we want to put it in a certain location? So we could put it in documents. All right, and I'll call this burp browser. All right, and we'll go ahead and just choose save, and then we'll choose next, and you'll see that the certificate was successfully exported. Now, the next thing that we need to do is we're going to launch our default browser. I'm going to go ahead and close these down, all right, because we're pretty much for the most part, we're done right here in the demonstration. So I'm also going to go ahead and close this down, and we'll just kind of leave ourselves under proxy because we're going to come back to intercept. Now, the next stage that we want to do is we want to configure our web browser. So we're going to open up, we've got Firefox open in this case, and where we had our URLs that we showed at the start of the video. And then we're going to go over here to our little hamburger, as I like to call it. You can see food is always on my mind, right? And then from here, what we're going to do is go to settings. And then from settings, you'll see there's privacy and security. We're going to go to privacy and security here. And then we're going to scroll down and keep scrolling. And I believe it's right here at the bottom. All right, so notice certificates. This is what we want. And we want to select view certificates. Now, when we choose view certificates, these are all the root CAs or the certificate authorities that are trusted. In this case, what we want to do is choose import. All right, and then we're going to go to the location in which we saved that file. All right, and then from here, and I believe I saved that in documents. Let me make sure all files. Oh yeah, that's right. Darn it, it's in home. There we go. Got to be in the right directory there, Wes. All right, and we scroll down and you'll see here is the certificate, and we can select that. First select it here and then choose select. And it's going to ask us, what do we want to do? We want to trust Portswigger CA for what? And for us, it's going to be to trust the CA to identify websites. We're going to go ahead and choose the check mark there, and we'll choose OK, and then OK again. All right, so that is configuring the certificate. Now there is some some additional things that we need to do. So let's go ahead and we're going to go back to our terminal. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and let's go back to home, and let's clear our screen. Now, there are some additional things that we need to do. We need to run change ownership or chown, and we also need to run change mod or chmod, because we need to make a couple of modifications. Now, this path that we're going to look at, let's go ahead and list our current directory here. Notice that we have the BurpSuite community, right? So if we do a cd into BurpSuite community, and then let's go ahead and list what we see in here. All right, you're going to see that we have the Burp browser directory. So we go into Burp browser directory, and when we look in here, let's run an ls. You're going to see that there's a version number, and that version number could be very unique to your instance. So pay attention to that version number, because that's going to be important. We're going to run a couple of different commands here. We're going to run the chown, and we're going to run chmod. So we're going to change the ownership, and we're going to run some modify the permissions as well here too. So if we let's change into that directory as well. What is that? 143. Yeah, 143 there. Right. So this is going to be essentially the path that we need to remember, because inside of here, if we run an ls in here, you're going to see that we have Chrome Sandbox, and ultimately that's what we're going to be making a modification to. All right, so I'm going to go ahead, I'll just make it a little easy. I'm going to copy that whole path here, and we're going to remember we're going to add Chrome-Sandbox to it. So easy way to do this, go ahead and just paste that in there like that, and then we're going to do a / and we'll do a Chrome-Sandbox. All right, oops, Sandbox, spelling matters, Wes. We'll do a space here, and then we're going to do double ampersand and make this easy so we can do it all copy and paste in one command. Make sure we got that. And then we're going to take that same path here, right? You can just copy it, and we can add that to the end of the command. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and just copy the whole thing. You can right click on it or control C it here. And then let's navigate back to the home directory here. And we'll go ahead and let's paste this command in here, and we'll run this. All right, so now that that's run, we've got the BurpSuite browser and permissions configured. Now there is something else that we want to go ahead and do. Let's go ahead and one of the things that you're going to have to make sure that you've done is have your Metasploitable machine up and running. Check out the video where I showed you how to download and get Metasploitable up and running, and you'll power on that virtual machine, because what we're going to do is we're going to use the DVWA to intercept some requests going to and from the web server here. I'm going to go ahead and minimize this. We're going to let that get up and running here, and then we're going to clear the screen. And now what I want to do, we've got BurpSuite up and running. The next thing that we're going to go ahead and do is we are going to turn Intercept on. And after that, what we'll do is we're going to choose Open Browser. Now, hopefully we've got everything configured all right, and it's going to open the browser, and you can see here that we are already intercepting requests right now. We have the interception here, and what we need to do if we wanted to allow this to continue through, we would choose forward, right? And forward would send it on. So one of the things that we can do if you want to start to interact with BurpSuite as, again, a part of this demonstration here, is navigate to the web browser. In the web browser, navigate to your Metasploitable 2 machine here, and you'll see that we've intercepted the request, and the browser's kind of hanging here because it's saying, hey, what do you want to do? Do we want to send this GET request? So we'll go ahead and forward that on. All right, and we're going to try it one more time. Oh, you know what? It does help if the IP address is right. So that auto-filled to the wrong IP address. Let me change that here quick. That's supposed to be 122, and there we go, 171. That's the right IP address, and this is what we would see. Still the request, even though the request was invalid, we went to the wrong page, it didn't go to a valid page, we're still going to do the same thing, and we'll forward this through. And now you can see we've got Metasploitable here, and it's up and going. And then we have DVWA, right? And we can select that, another GET request, and we can view this information down here. We can actually click on this, and you can send it to the repeater, and then you'll see the kind of the repeater light up here. And then this is where we can go in. We can look at the information, right? You can, if you wanted to, you can send this back to the server and see what kind of response you get back, right? So you can go a little bit farther with it as well too. So I'll give you an example of that. You can also, if we go back to proxy, since Intercept is on, right, you can actually, let's go ahead and forward that traffic here because it's kind of sitting there in queue. I'll forward it one more time, and here we go. So let's go ahead, let's interact with the website here, and we're going to just log in to DVWA here. All right, and notice it's sent a post, right? We can see the method here, right? We can look at this information, we can send it to the repeater, we could forward it, and now it's logging me in, and it's changed to a GET request. And here you go. You can see, no, thank you. Right, you can see that we are now connected to the web page, and if we wanted to change the security, again, we're asking it, hey, give me this, right? When we can see those GET requests in the background here. So if I wanted to change the security level on DVWA, I could, right? So if I wanted to, change it to low, right? You can see clicking these interactions in here in the background, and you can utilize this information to kind of see how the web browser is interacting back and forth here too. So, and then you can utilize this if you wanted to navigate, and as you, as you intercept those, right, we can keep looking at them and just kind of really get an idea about how BurpSuite is letting you kind of send that information through the proxy, right? And again, you can save some of this information too. You can view that information, right? We can make modifications to it if we want, all right? Changing things like, for instance, we see the cookie here, security equals high, right? Are you modifying the session ID information and then sending it and seeing, what kind of information do you get back, if anything, right? And viewing that information, so you can do things like web application security testing and kind of get your idea, your mindset around how BurpSuite works. So there you have it, everybody. A very easy way to get BurpSuite up and running. For those of you that were utilizing Kali, remember this applies to you likewise too. And thank you so much for taking the time and joining me. And as always, we appreciate you being here with us.